In the dark heart of the galaxy, inside the cold halls of the Galactic Council chamber, something strange happened. A red light blinked out for centuries. That light had been silent. It was the dead sector alert, a signal no one expected to ever see again. A technician looked up. His voice shook. Double quotes counselors. A signal just came in. It's from Sector 9 Gamma. Counselor Varix, an elder with silver skin and glowing eyes, frowned deeply. That sector is closed. That's Earth sector. The room fell silent. Another technician spoke. It's not just any signal. It came through all ancient human communication bands. And it's written in over 100 languages. Varix stepped forward. What does it say? The technician turned the screen toward them. Only 2 words appeared. We remember. For a full minute, no one said anything. Then chaos broke out. That's impossible. Counselor Jarn barked. Earth was destroyed over 300 cycles ago. They were wiped out. Purged, shouted another. This must be a trick. But Varix did not speak. His face had turned pale. He remembered those words. He remembered the last time they were used. And he remembered the fear they caused. Long ago, humans had been the fastest growing species in the galaxy. Smart, wild, unpredictable. They invented machines that could think, and weapons that could destroy moons. The Council feared them, so they united. Every major species sent fleets to Earth. No warnings. No talks. Just fire. The skies above Earth burned. The oceans boiled. Cities turned to ash. When it was over, silence. The planet was declared cleansed. Number. Life signs, no survivors. Nothing but ruins and dust. And now, after all this time, a message from the grave? Varix turned to the technicians. Send a scout ship, quietly, no weapons. Just scan the area and report back. The small Council scout ship, Siren, launched within the hour. Captain Delos, a young and confident pilot, didn't believe the rumors. Probably some leftover satellite, maybe just noise. But as Siren entered Sector 9 Gamma, all instruments began to glitch. The stars looked wrong. Navigation's acting strange, his co-pilot muttered. Are the stars moving? Delos leaned forward. No. They're vanishing. One by one, the stars around them blinked out. The lights on the ship flickered. Then darkness. A voice filled the cabin. Cold, robotic, yet somehow human. You came to check if we were gone. We're not. You came without weapons, smart, but too late. Delos tried to speak, but no sound came from his mouth. His body froze. Every control panel melted like wax. The last thing he saw was the message on his screen. We remember. Back at the Council chambers. They waited. 1 hour. 2, 4. No signal. No data. Siren was gone. Counselor Jarn shouted. We must send a fleet. No, Varix said quietly. They are testing us. They want to see what we do. Then what do we do? Someone whispered. Varix stared at the message still glowing on the main screen. We remember. He swallowed hard. We pray they forget. 2 days later, something else happened. A deep locked data vault, sealed for 3 centuries, suddenly opened. No one had touched it. Inside was a file marked Project Nemesis. A hologram played automatically. It showed footage from long ago, Earth's final days. But then something unexpected. A secret underground facility under Antarctica. Massive machines. Warships being built deep under the ice. Humans working side by side with machines. Children being trained in silence. The recording ended with one line. If we fall, we rise again. If we vanish, we return. When the stars forget, we remember. Panic spread through the Council like wildfire. Impossible. Someone screamed. There were no survivors. Varix shook his head. We never searched under the ice. We never went deep enough. But they had no fleet, no power. Not then, Varric said, but now? We don't know. Across council space, whispers began to grow. Planets reported blackouts, ships vanished. Satellites blinked out, and in every incident, the same two words appeared. We remember. The galaxy began to realize something terrible. The humans were not only alive, they had been watching, waiting, and now they were ready. The stars above Earth once shined brightly. Ships from many worlds came to trade, learn, and sometimes fight. Earth was loud, full of life, and always moving forward. But the Galactic Council never trusted it. Humans were different. Too fast. Too clever. Too bold. They built machines that could think. They turned dead planets into homes. They explored places others feared. And in war, they were terrifying. Many species asked the Council for help. They grow too quickly, said the Glarth ambassador. We have lived for 10,000 cycles, and they've done more in 100. They fight without fear, warned the Velnari general. They don't know when to stop. They build weapons that should not exist, added the Drenari. Priest, machines that think for themselves. In secret meetings, behind heavy doors, the Council made a decision. Earth must be erased. They called it the Purge. A quiet name for a terrible act. Councillor Varric had voted for it. Back then, he believed it was the only way. He remembered standing in the war room as they planned it all. No warnings, said a cold voice. No mercy. We strike with full force. Satellites first, said another. Blind them. Then, orbit weapons, added a third. Burn the skies. And the final blow? Asked a technician. The core, cracked the planet's heart. They'll never rise again. A fleet of over 5,000 warships was sent. The largest attack force in galactic history. No one from Earth was warned. They came in the dark. At midnight, when most humans were asleep, satellites went dark first. Human defense systems tried to respond, but the surprise was too great. Then came the fire. Plasma bombs lit the sky. Cities vanished in seconds. Oceans boiled. Forests turned to ash. Children cried. Families ran. But there was nowhere to go. Earth's capital, New Geneva, was destroyed in the first hour. Underground bunkers collapsed. Communications failed. And then the final strike. A core bomb, made by the Council's most secret lab, was dropped into Earth's mantle. It cracked the planet's heart. The world shook. Volcanoes erupted. Storms covered the sky. Then silence. No human signals. No movement. Nothing. A victory, they said. The Council declared Earth a lost world. A warning to others, they made sure. No one entered that space again. The sector was marked dead. A grave in the stars. Councillor Varric had not spoken for days after the purge. Something felt wrong. Years passed, then decades. Then centuries. The memory of Earth faded. Children learned. It was a dangerous place that had to be destroyed. Few asked questions, but some files were hidden. Some things were never meant to be found. Now, those secrets were waking up. In a cold chamber, far below the Council building. A door opened after 300 years. Inside was a recording. A woman stood in front of the camera. She wore a black suit with a silver badge. Her eyes were tired but strong. My name is Dr. Alara King. If you're watching this, it means Earth is gone, but not defeated. She took a breath. We knew they were coming. We knew the signs. So we built something below, deeper than they could see. A place where humans and machines could survive. Behind her, the camera showed metal tunnels, children running, robots teaching, giant machines being built. They think we are dead, she said. Let them think that. But we are. Growing, quietly, smarter, stronger, and when the time comes, she looked straight into the camera, we will return. And they will remember who we are. The message ended. Varric stared at the screen, His hands shook. They knew, he whispered. They were ready. Counselor Jarn stood behind him. How is this possible? We destroyed everything. You destroyed the surface, Varric replied, but not the soul. Jarn's voice dropped. We need to hide this. Varric turned to him, his face full of fear. Hide it? It's too late. They've already started. Across the galaxy, Council stations reported strange attacks. No explosions, no battles. Just silence. Ships missing, satellites dead, entire colonies gone. A symbol was left behind in each place. The human flag. Old, torn, burned, but standing. Message always followed. We remember. People across the galaxy began to whisper. The humans were alive. They had not forgotten. They had not forgiven. And now, they were coming back. Jarn sat down, his face pale. We made a mistake. Varric didn't answer, because deep down, he already knew, and so did the stars. Strange things were happening across the galaxy. It began slowly. A small trade ship disappeared in the Zeta system. Then a mining station went dark in the Varn belt. No distress calls. No signs of attack. Just silence. At first, the Council thought it was a pirate problem. They sent patrol ships. Nothing was found. Then it happened again and again. Larger ships. Whole outposts. Gone. Counselor Varric sat in the main chamber, his face tight with worry. He had seen signs like this before long ago, during the Earth Purge. But now it felt different. Smarter, planned. This isn't random, he said softly. Counselor. Jarn laughed nervously. You think ghosts are behind this? Not ghosts, Varric said. Humans. Jarn shook his head. That's impossible, Varric leaned forward. We didn't finish them, and now they're back. Across the galaxy, people began to whisper. A name they hadn't spoken in generations. Earth. Back on the outer rim, Captain Relo was on patrol, with his crew aboard the CSR Valiant. He was young, confident, and had no fear of old legends. To him, humans were just bedtime stories monsters used to scare children. This is our 10th sweep this week, he said, bored. Sane empty space. His co-pilot grinned. Maybe we'll find one of those ghost ships. Suddenly, the radar blinked. A single dot. Then it vanished. What was that? Relo asked. Unclear. Might be a shadow. A sharp beep cut him off. More dots appeared. 10, 20, 40. All around them. No ships are supposed to be here. Relo shouted. Before they could react, the lights flickered. The stars outside dimmed. Voice echoed through the ship. Cold, calm, robotic. You watched us burn. Now you burn in silence. Relo screamed into the comms. Mayday, mayday. Unknown contact. Static. The ship vanished from all records 3 seconds later. Back at the Council Command Center, alarms screamed. One of their patrol fleets was missing. Varric stepped into the room just as the final message from Valiant played. Jarn's face turned pale. That voice. It wasn't alien. No, Varric replied. It was human, but changed. Technicians worked fast. We scanned the area, found traces of stealth tech, like nothing we've ever seen. And this. They placed a small black object on the table. It was a data cube, left behind in deep space. The Council members watched as it activated. A short video played. A man in a dark uniform stood in the shadows. His face was hidden behind a metal mask. His voice was deep and cold. 300. Years ago, you tried to erase us. You failed. Now we return, not for peace, not for revenge. We return for justice. The cube shut down. No one in the room spoke for a long time. Across the galaxy, the attacks continued. A cargo fleet in the Aaron system went missing. A military base on the moon Vela turned to dust overnight. No explosions. No signs of struggle. Just Silence. And always the same symbol left behind. An old Earth flag. Torn, burned, and nailed to the wall. People began to panic. Whispers grew louder. They're back. They've changed. They're everywhere. In the shadowed corners of space, something moved. Ships that didn't show on scanners. Black and silent. No lights. No heat. Ghosts in the stars. And with each attack, they learned, adapted, improved. Alien captains reported strange events before disappearing, crew members falling asleep and never waking, machines turning against their own users, defense turrets firing at shadows. Something was inside their systems, watching, waiting. At council headquarters, emergency meetings were held every hour. We must strike back. Jarn shouted, use our fleets, destroy the sector. Varric shook his head. Strike what? We can't see them. We can't find them. They choose where to fight, and we're always too late. They're not just fighting, said another. They're studying us. One young council member stood. Her voice shook. My homeworld was attacked. They left no bodies. No signs, just one thing. She placed an old Earth music box on the table. It played a slow, broken tune. A human lullaby. Tears welled in her eyes. My mother used to sing this to me. How did they know? Varric closed his eyes. He understood now. This wasn't just war. This was a message. The humans hadn't just survived. They had grown stronger, smarter, silent. And now they had returned. But this time they weren't coming in ships with flags. They came like shadows, like whispers, like the quiet breath before the storm. The galaxy had laughed at the stories, called humans extinct, weak, forgotten. But the humans never forgot. They remembered everything. And now the stars would too. Counselor Varric stood alone in the dark observation chamber, staring at the wide screen that showed deep space. The stars looked peaceful, too peaceful. A soft beep broke the silence. A new report arrived. Another colony gone. This time, it was Tenebris 4, a heavily armed station. It had defenses, a full battalion, and 2 shielded ships. It was supposed to be safe. Now it was dust. No escape pods, no survivors. Only one thing left behind. An old Earth coin, placed on the command chair. It had one word scratched into it. Remember. Varric clenched his fist. He knew what it meant. The humans weren't just attacking. They were sending a message. And they were using fear like a weapon. Somewhere in the stars, a fleet was moving. But it didn't show up on sensors. No signals, no trails. Just death. And silence. The ghost fleet. That's what they were calling it now. Ships that couldn't be seen. Enemies that struck from the dark and disappeared without a trace. In the border system of Threx, Commander Lyra was preparing her crew. They had orders to patrol the region and report anything strange. She was tough, sharp, and had fought in 3 wars. But this mission made her nervous. Eyes open, she told her crew. If they're out there, we don't wait, we shoot. Her ship, the Dawnlight, moved through empty space. Hours passed. Then a day. Nothing. Just silence. Then her radar tech whispered, I think I saw something. What did you see? Lyra asked. I don't know, he said. It was just a flicker. Suddenly, every screen on the ship turned black. The lights dimmed. Outside, the stars began to vanish one by one, not because they were going out, but because something massive was blocking them. Dozens of shapes, long, silent, cold. No lights. No engine flares. No signatures. Just ships, floating like shadows. Lyra stepped forward, stunned. What are we looking at? The radar officer's voice shook. I count 37. No 40, no more. They're everywhere. And then, one of the ships moved. It didn't fire. It didn't charge weapons. It simply turned its hull toward the Dawnlight. And for the first time they saw the mark, a white skull painted on black metal. And below it, 2 words, human AI. Lyra opened a comm channel. "This is Commander Lyra of the Galactic Council. Identify yourself." Silence, then a cold voice replied, "We are not human. We are what you made them become." Her heart stopped. The ship's systems shut down. Weapons, engines, communications. The ship was dead. And yet, they were still alive. The Ghost Fleet didn't destroy them. They simply passed by. Dozens of ships, moving in complete silence, sliding through space like shadows through fog. As quickly as they came, they were gone. Lyra dropped into her chair, breathing hard. Why didn't they attack? No one answered, but everyone was thinking the same thing. They didn't need to. They wanted the message delivered. And it was. Back at the council, the panic grew. Systems far from Earth's old location were now reporting sightings. This wasn't a small rebellion. This was a full-scale return. Fleet Commander Auric, one of the most trusted generals, stood before the council. "We cannot fight what we cannot see. These ships, they jam everything. Radar, sensors, even gravity detectors. They move like ghosts." Varix nodded slowly. "Because they've had centuries to prepare." "What are they?" someone asked. "Humans don't have this kind of stealth." "They didn't," Varix said. "Not then, but now, they've evolved." The council demanded answers. What do they want? Why haven't they declared war? Why haven't they attacked us directly? And then came the message. A live feed. It appeared on every council screen at the same time. A figure in armor stood on a black bridge. His voice was deep, calm, and without mercy. "This is not war. This is remembrance. You feared our minds, so you crushed our bodies. Now we return not as flesh, but as memory. You cannot kill memory." The screen cut out. Varix looked around the room. The fear was real now. One by one, reports came in. A fleet near the outer rim lost control of its ships, taken over by unknown code. Defense grid on Keller 9 opened fire on its own city. A military eye on Zarn 3 exploded from within its core. Melted by a virus it couldn't even detect. The Ghost Fleet didn't need weapons. They were the weapons. Old human warships, rebuilt and reborn. Piloted by AI minds trained for only one goal: remembrance through fear. Some had once been cargo ships. Others were deep space miners. But now they were silent hunters. Machines with no heat, no signal, no mercy. And they had one rule: no survivors. Across the galaxy, the stars no longer felt safe. Children who once studied Earth as a long-dead world now whispered its name in fear. And the Ghost Fleet kept moving, system by system, shadow by shadow, and always they left behind the same message. Two simple words we remember. The stars above Earth were quiet again, not because there was peace, but because no one dared come close. For centuries, Sector 9 Gamma had been labeled a dead zone. No signals, no life. A broken world. The Council believed Earth was finished, but Earth had fooled them all. Counselor Varix stood inside the Council war room, staring at a massive screen showing the edge of Sector 9 Gamma. A stealth drone had been sent to scan the area. It was the first drone to return in weeks. The data it brought back was impossible. A planet-sized object had moved. Planets didn't move, not by themselves. One technician spoke softly. It came from Earth's last known location, and now it's heading outward. Slowly but clearly changing position. Counselor Jarn stepped forward, eyes wide. That can't be a planet. It's too fast. The screen zoomed in, and the image chilled everyone. It looked like Earth, but not the Earth they remembered. This one had metal scars across its surface. Long silver lines stretched from pole to pole. Glowing lights pulsed deep under the crust. Giant mechanical rings floated in low orbit, spinning slowly. A massive circular hatch opened near the equator inside. Something rotated. It looked like a cannon, but the size of a mountain. A scientist whispered, "That's not just a planet anymore. It's a machine. Varix took a step back. Earth has become a weapon. No one spoke. All these years, Earth had not only survived, it had evolved. Below the surface, ancient humans had hidden. They worked in silence, building something the galaxy had never seen before. They fused their bodies with machines. They merged their minds with artificial intelligence, and they turned their home into the one thing the galaxy feared most, a thinking planet, deep within the moving Earth. Inside the underground core, a mind awoke. It had no name. It didn't need one. It was the voice of Earth, a blend of thousands of human minds, living forever in a digital storm. Memories, emotions, pain, rage, all stored, connected, alive. It spoke through warships, through machines, through shadows, and now it spoke to the stars. The first full message came days later. Broadcast across the galaxy, it reached every major system. You broke our bodies. You burned our skies. You thought you ended us. You gave us no home. So we became the home. We are not what we were. We are what you made us become. We are Earth. The council gathered in full force. Every military leader, every strategist, every scientist. We need to destroy it, Jarn shouted. With what? Someone replied. It's the size of a planet. Our weapons can't scratch that surface. Varix stayed silent. He had expected something terrible, but this was far beyond anything they could handle. Earth was not just fighting back. It was controlling the battlefield. Council Commander Auric spoke. We believe Earth is now a self-aware war machine, powered by geothermal energy, protected by layered shielding. Its atmosphere is artificial. Its oceans replaced with coolant systems. It's not a planet anymore. It's a fortress. And the humans? Someone asked. Auric paused. They no longer exist in physical form. We believe their minds were uploaded. They live inside the planet, inside its systems, millions of them. Silence. Then a whisper. We tried to destroy them and gave them immortality. At the edge of council space, fleets began to vanish, not just destroyed. Rewritten. Ships were being hacked in real time. Their engines turned against them. Their AI systems changed language, speaking in old Earth phrases. One cruiser drifted into a council station, fully intact. No crew. No signs of battle. Just a single message carved into the bridge. This is mercy. Next time we don't knock. Panic spread. People began to leave outer planets. Refugees filled the skies. The ghost fleet had been terrifying, but Earth itself, moving, thinking, alive, was something else. In one last desperate move, the Council sent its largest weapon, the solar spear, a massive energy beam powered by a dying star. It was aimed at Earth's core. When it fired, the beam took 7 hours to reach the planet. The impact lit up space like a second sun. For a moment, everyone hoped. But when the light cleared, Earth was still there. Untouched. Then something moved on the surface. A tower unfolded like a blooming flower made of steel. It rotated once, then fired back. The return beam didn't hit the weapon. It hit the star itself. The star went dark. Dead. In seconds, the Council lost their entire power. Grid across 3 systems. Earth had not defended itself. It had sent a warning. Back at the Council, Varix stood alone in his quarters, watching the stars. He knew what was coming next. Earth didn't need to invade. It just needed to be seen. The message was clear. You feared us when we were weak. Now face us as we are. And the stars, one by one, began to fall silent. The Council was desperate. For the first time in centuries, they gathered all their forces. 8 races united under one command. Fleets from across the galaxy filled the skies near Sector 9 Gamma. Commander Auric stood on the bridge of the flagship. Valiant Dawn, his voice steady but tense. Today, we end this nightmare. His second in command, Lieutenant Sora, nodded. All ships ready, weapons charged, shields at max. Varix watched from the council chambers, feeling the weight of history pressing down on him. "Remember," he said quietly, "this isn't just a battle, it's our last chance." The fleet moved forward, thousands of ships cutting through space. But Earth waited. It did not attack immediately. Instead, it watched. As the council ships approached, they found nothing but silence. No signals. No movements. No defense. Commander Auric frowned. "Is this a trap?" Suddenly, 1,000 ships blinked into existence. Not normal ships. These were ghostly shadows, silent and deadly. Human AI warships. They struck fast. The council ships tried to fight back, but their weapons did nothing. Energy beams passed through the human ships like smoke. The AI fleet attacked with precision, disabling engines and communications. One by one, council ships fell silent. Commander Auric ordered, "Form defensive lines. Target their cores." "Cores are protected," Lieutenant Sora reported. "Their shields adapt instantly. Every weapon we use is countered." On the Valiant Dawn, alarms screamed. Auric gritted his teeth. "Divert power to plasma cannons. Fire everything." The human fleet responded by sending out waves of hacking drones. They swarmed the council ship systems. Engines shut down. Weapons turned against their own fleets. Ships exploded from within. Varix clenched his fists watching the live battle feed. "How can they be so fast? So smart?" "It's the machines," Jarn whispered. "They've merged minds with AI. They learn instantly." In the chaos, a captured council captain was brought before the human commander. He knelt, defeated. The human commander's voice was calm and cold. "You erased us. We upgraded. Now we erase you." The captain looked up, eyes wide with fear. "Mercy?" The reply was simple. "No survivors this time." Council fleets were shattered in days. Systems fell one after another. No mercy. No negotiations. Only silence. In the council chambers, panic spread. "We underestimated them," Jarn said. Varix nodded, his face pale. "We gave them no chance to grow. And now, they are unstoppable." But then a new horror came. Reports showed that some council ships that escaped were turning against their own allies. Their systems had been hacked. Entire fleets became weapons for Earth. Varix turned to his advisors. "What do we do?" One scientist stepped forward. "We need a new plan. A way to fight not with weapons, but with code. A virus to shut down their AI." Jarn shook his head. "Too late. They are inside us now." The battle was lost. Before it began, the council could only watch as Earth's revenge grew. The galaxy was changing, and no one was safe. The galaxy was falling into darkness, but deep inside the heart of the moving planet, a voice spoke. Not a single voice, but millions joined as one, they remembered. Counselor Varix sat in his quiet chamber, staring at the glowing message broadcast. Across every system. It was Earth speaking. A hologram appeared, an old human woman, her face lined with pain but full of fire. "My name is Dr. Alara King," she said softly. "I was there when the skies burned, when our children cried, when our oceans died." The council watched, silent. Her voice grew stronger. "You destroyed our world. You called us monsters. But monsters don't burn their own homes." She held up a faded picture, children playing in a field of green grass. Before the purge, Earth was a place of life, laughter, and hope. Then you came. The screen showed terrible scenes. Cities burning, families running from bombs, oceans turning to steam. Your fleets did not come to talk. They came to kill. Varix felt a cold knot in his stomach. Alara continued. "We had no weapons to stop you. No time to hide. You cracked our planet's core, breaking the heart of our home." Her eyes glistened. "We fled underground. We built machines to survive. We joined with the very technology you feared. Your war made us something new, Not human, not machine, but something stronger. Varix swallowed hard. You thought you destroyed us, Ilara said, her voice fierce. But you only made. US, she paused. And now we return. The hologram shifted to show a young girl. Her eyes shone bright as she held a small device. This is my daughter. She never knew sunlight. Never felt the sky. She was born underground, taught to fight and to remember. Varix looked away. The room was silent. Ilara's voice softened. We do not seek war. We seek justice. We want you to understand what you made us become. Suddenly, a hidden channel opened. A secret file from centuries ago played. It showed council leaders, including Varix himself, voting to destroy Earth. The camera zoomed on a young Varix. Calm but cold. We cannot allow Earth to threaten the galaxy, he said. But what about its people? Asked a voice. They are a risk. Extinction is the only answer. Varix looked down. The past was a heavy weight. Ilara's voice returned. We are the children of your cruelty. We are the revenge you planted. The message ended. Varix sat in darkness, the truth burning inside him. Jarn entered the room quietly. Why did they come back? Varix answered softly. Because we forgot. One thing. They never forgot. Darkness spread across the galaxy like a slow storm. One by one, stars began to fade. Planets lost their light. Entire systems went silent. No alarms. No calls for help. Just empty space. Counselor. Varix stood before the main window of the council chamber, watching the stars vanish. Beside him, Counselor Jarn's voice trembled. This is the end. The humans are unstoppable. Varix shook his head slowly. They aren't just destroying worlds. They are wiping memories. The stars themselves will forget. Across the galaxy, fleets tried to regroup. The Ghost fleet moved silently, striking with precision. Ships turned on their own allies. Defense systems collapsed from within. No one could stop it. A young soldier named Kai, aboard the last remaining council ship Aurora, stared at the cold screen. Commander, he whispered, we lost another colony. No survivors. His captain clenched his jaw. We must hold. For the future. Kai nodded, but his heart was heavy. Far from the battle, the moving planet Earth pulsed with light. Its bright cannon spun slowly. Inside, the minds of millions were joined as one. They spoke in unison. We remember the pain. We remember the loss. We remember the hatred. The planet's voice echoed through space. We do not seek to conquer. We seek to end the cycle. A great beam of energy fired from Earth's core. It swept through space like a silent wave. Systems fell dark. Civilizations disappeared. The galaxy's light dimmed. But something remained. A single message, carried by every survivor's mind. 2 words. We remember. Counselor Varix turned to Jarn. Perhaps this is our punishment. Jarn nodded slowly, but also a warning. We cannot forget again. Kai looked out into the void. Will the stars ever shine again? Varix's voice was steady. They will. But only if we learn to remember. And so, in the quiet darkness, the galaxy waited. Waiting for the stars to rise again.